The world has long been dominated by views promoted to oppress. The Standard of Iraq, circa 2600 BC, illustrates the physical domination of other cultures. Roman art once focused on verism, such as to elevate the ruling social class, and switched to more idealized and timeless perfection as soon as verism failed to align with the message the government wanted to portray. Translations of the Bible falsely labeled women as coming from a rib of Adam instead of being an equal half. For thousands of years, art has been used to control the views of the general public and shape the minds of youths. With this in mind, what happens to artists when the established ruling class and ideologies fail to lull the fires of the poor? The Rococo era began in an age of immense depravity for most of France. Those well enough off to afford food could more than likely also afford a large estate, while all else was left to suffer. Ignoring the fact that the wealth distribution today in America is several times worse than that of France in this period was characterized as one of the worst economic situations yet. Rococo art aimed to offer viewers a taste of whimsy accentuated by themes of romance and nature. Rococo art is the height of indulgence and fantasy, coloring the world in pastels. This style was not limited to paintings, but spread to architecture, interior design, furniture, anything that could be shaped by mankind. Much like Roman art following the reign of Caesar, Rococo art was aimed to elevate those with status rather than oppress those without. The Académie Royale de Peinture et de Sculpture, more commonly known as the Royal Academy, was theoretically one of the few ways one could climb the social ladder in France, as membership was not determined by class, not by relations, but by personal skill alone. Despite this, the Royal Academy refused to accept membership from women for 15 years after its establishment in 1648 and continued to enact policies discriminating against women in 1706. Even after King Louis XIV declared that the Academy should be open to all gifted artists regardless of their gender, the number of women allowed in the Academy was limited to merely 4, causing it to be much more difficult for any woman artist to enter the Academy. Elizabeth Louise Venier Lebrun was a French artist born in 1755 and died in 1842. She was born to peasants. Her one advantage in her early years was her father, an artist by trade who fiercely supported his daughter. Unfortunately, Lebrun's father died when she was merely 12 years of age. Despite the obstacles before her, Elizabeth Louise Venier Lebrun eventually became the official portrait artist for Marie Antoinette, leading her to be accepted into the Royal Academy. In 1789, Elizabeth Louise Venier Lebrun fled France as a result of the French Revolution and sought refuge in Italy. A year later, in 1790, Elizabeth Louise Lebrun's self-portrait with palette was created, a true masterpiece and a representation of who she was. Often concerned that she would not be taken seriously as an artist due to the socio-political climate of the time, Lebrun reinforced her image as an artist by painting herself at work. While Rococo art usually has elements of unabashed sexual gratification, Elizabeth Louise Venier Lebrun was conservative in such respects and painted herself modestly clothed, wearing a black dress, ruffled collar, and headdress. This could be yet another attempt to separate her success as an artist from any other virtues she may have possessed. As years prior, after she painted the Minister of Finances, she was criticized by Count Cagnon, who wrote, "It is here that Madame Lebrun painted as a master. It is here that she overcame the hardest difficulties, and I must say it is this occasion that she has become entirely the mistress of her subject." Lebrun fiercely fought for her reputation as an artist, saying, "I may be a woman, but I am first and foremost an artist." Madame Lebrun, in her self-portrait, is seen painting a portrait of Marie Antoinette, reaffirming her support for the Queen and nobility. Despite this, Lebrun is presented as more important than the Queen, appearing in light instead of shadow, larger and in the center of the competition. This inclusion of the Queen undoubtedly increased the demand for the portrait, causing her to make duplicates of the portrait to satisfy this demand. The element that makes this portrait so special is its joyous and carefree nature. It perfectly illustrates Lebrun's passion for painting, capturing how even when she was wanted and would have been killed in her home country if she returned. She cared very little for that. She had her skill and the job of her dreams, and that was enough. Despite her success, she was forgotten shortly after she died in 1842. The new art world did not appreciate her skill or contributions as much as it used to. It can be reasonably assumed that sexism did play a part in her decay from popularity, but today her work is slowly being recognized again.